Well, hello everybody. I'm Steve Ritchie. I'm a steel sculptor from Ashford in Kent. I'm going to have a look at Judy's Dragon and a few other little jobs that I've been messing about with. Now, Judy's Dragon is up to the stage. I've now painted it. I don't know if I'll just give you a little recap. This is basically what the head looked like. As you know, I use industrial waste, so someone donated me a lot of steel circles. That's basically what I made the head out of. And any other little bits of mild steel scrap and offcuts. I am having trouble getting hold of steel sheet offcuts due to the pandemic, really. I've not been getting out and about and around, obviously. And I shall be looking for some of that as well. So, Judy's Dragon was a marvellous project, but there's always other things going on at the same time. I had a student this day who helped me film this. He was behind a filtered screen, by the way. I hope he hasn't hurt himself. You can get archive from welding. But there you are. He got some fantastic shots of me messing about with Judy's Dragon. And in fact, he got that camera so close, he completely ruined it because he got covered in welded splat. But yeah, I should have guarded it, shouldn't I? But anyway, while we were there, he also helped me lay out some materials that I picked up from the old British Railway site. They'd cleared the ground, and a chap suggested that I might be able to come up with a really interesting project and present it to the company that are clearing that ground to put 7 blocks of flats on. So this is where we are. I've dragged this stuff back and I've just laid it out, or a young man's laid it out for me and filmed it. Now, what I can come up with out of that lot, I'm not quite sure yet. So I did start. This is the BR, what I call the BR project, the British Railway project, and I thought it'd be nice to mention the people that worked and there previously. It was a repair workshop for railway wagons. My brother had also worked in this particular workshop, Building 47, a repair workshop, and this is my way of, reminding everybody that really worked there in the past, and perhaps I can come up with something interesting. It's not really kicked off yet, but it might even get filmed for television. Anyway, Judy's Dragon. That's the thing that we're really talking about. Now, I've got this through a stage where I thought it looked really cool. And the customer, because we went to Trentham, the customer for this particular piece allowed me to display it. And that's what it looked like. In fact, that's Hever Castle. So I did Hever Castle and Trentham Gardens. Wonderful place. It looked great outside. All I've done with this is lightly oiled it. And for some reason, I've now got some sound picked up. Go away. There we are. So it went off to the galvanisers. This is going to be outside. It's leaping off a rock. It needed well galvanising. I did request that they didn't drill any extra holes, because there was all sorts of holes in this thing already, which the galvanisers didn't. I did bend a bit of the wing, but that's probably in the process of them packing it. I might ask them not to pack my work. I'll pick it up as soon as it's done. But anyway, so what have I done with this? I've etched primed this. That's the grey underneath. So I didn't film that. That's a acidizing process, and I needed everybody out of the way. Well ventilated area. About mild acid, but you really wouldn't want to get it on. You wouldn't want to eat your sandwiches afterwards anyway. So I did that all fully sort of clothed up and gloved up and whatnot. I'm now messing about with a cellulose paint, a matte black. Now I only really want to dust this thing, but I want to get it into all the little crevices. And I really am doing a really light coat. And in fact, it's always better with paints to do lots of light coats than one big heavy one. I'm not looking for drips or anything. I am literally just trying to cover this thing. And as you've probably discovered by now, that it comes apart in 3 bits. So I've got a main body, torso, head and all the rest of it, and tail. And then a couple of wings to mess about with. But this is going on quite nice. It's not too much of a windy day, but I am getting quite close to it, so I've got to be careful what I'm doing. I've also got a plastic trigger mechanism that's levering in the wrong place a little bit, and it's squeezing the top, the squirty bit, at a bit of an angle, and I'm getting drips. It's dripping off the tin. So I need to modify my little handle so it'll work better. But there you are. We've got a chain there. Now the chain is going to be strapped around this dragon's neck. And as you see, it was welded together there. So it's given the impression that it's been, you know, on the leash sort of thing, because this chain is wrapped around the base of the sculpture, if you like, and it's got a bit hooked up. This thing's leapt off and then been held back. There goes that sound again. Oh, I thought I cleared all this. Anyway, so lent these things up, gave them a squirt, and they came up really quite nice. I thought, again, I'm only putting light coats on, and when you're spraying with rattlers, I've really messed it up now. I've moved the film about, but anyway, when you're messing about with rattlers and things, it's not the best thing to sort of lay anything flat. You want to sort of have it upright, really. You don't want to be putting the tin down. Also, I've still got a bit of a drippy problem, so I'm dripping little bits here and there and everywhere. I've given the area that I'm doing a really good sweep, so I'm not going to pick up any dust up or anything. Everybody's out the way, so any fumes, I've masked myself up, as you can see. It's cellulose paint. It's still dangerous. It'll still stick your lungs together, so be warned. I normally wear gloves for things like this, but in this particular case, as you see, I haven't. And again, giving it a light coat. My whole idea with this is to be able to brush back through the mat back into the galvanise, again lightly. Don't want to remove massive amounts of material, certainly galvanise, otherwise we'll be back to bare metal and it'll be rusted all over the place, which won't have the desired effect. And after this, I'm going to satin lacquer it. Okay, same thing, just with rattlers and things. Now, an item like this will need some maintenance. It isn't, you can leave it outside, it's not going to rot, it's galvanised and stuff. But every now and again, a damp cloth around it wouldn't hurt. You know, you don't want the leaves to collect on this thing. You don't want little creatures pooping all over it. It'll work its way through eventually. Oh, I'm going to do the same thing again. I'm trying to get... Oh no, I wanted to leave the volume on this, because I found the little scuffing quite funny. I don't know why. But here we are. I'm now scuffing back. What I've got in my right hand there is a emery clothy type of wet and dry spongy. And I'm dancing between something that's probably 1,000 grit. That's the fat pad to get through some of the thicker paint. And then I'm dancing back round it very gently with something that's probably about a 2,000 pad, just to bring a little bit of shine back. Not going mad. I just want to take off the highlights and brighten them. You know, it looks more sort of blacksmithy work once you do this as well. Yeah, it looks really good. So yeah, hopefully this is going to be down the West Country on a rock, exposed to the elements. The tricky thing with this sculpture will be mounting it. That's going to be the hardest thing about this sculpture. It's been a really interesting build, this one as well. I've really enjoyed the process. I know I say that a lot, but yeah, I really did with this one. And it's kind of a scale that I can handle on my own. I'm not hurting myself making a thing this size. Anything bigger than this and it starts to hurt a bit. Not that I mind, but you know, I've got things start to get a bit two-handed. And I'm a one-man show at the moment with lots of assistants if I need them, but I'd rather not need them. I like to get on. I've taken a few shots with different views as well, and you get to see lots of the head, I know that, but you don't get to see it from above very much, so I thought I'd give you a little above scene in amongst all this as well. The as you see, it's mounted on an anvil at the moment, and if you look closely at some of the earlier clips and stuff, look at the shadows that it's giving off. It's giving off some really interesting shadows on that ground. Anyway, thanks very much for watching. Thanks for listening to me waffling away once again. And look out for the old installation of this one. It's going to be interesting meeting Judy. She sounds like a lovely lady and her partner. And yeah. All right, watch this space. Oh, please subscribe. Do the old button. Post a few of these. You know, keep in touch. Give me some questions. Have a nice day. Stay safe. Bye now.